Hey YouTubers, welcome to World Cinema Reviews. This is your host Frank the Vamp, and today I got another edition of 80's Movies Showdown for you. And I'm very happy about this 80's Movie Showdown because it's about two movies that I really love from the 80's. I watched them many times. I, in one of the cases, I sing along to it. I love it. They're both horror comedies of sort and dark comedies perhaps, but they also have a very creepy, scary edge to them, especially one of them. So I thought that this would be interesting to pin out these two movies. If you've never seen 80's Movie Showdown, it's where I grab two movies from the 1980's and compare them and contrast them using crazy categories such as best story, creature design, funniest moment, coolest kill, scare factor, and fan factor to find out what movie is the best among the two. So without further ado, we're gonna go to our matchup today. We're gonna talk about House, made in 1986, directed by Steve Miner, starring the awesome William Cat from the Greatest American Hero fame. I love that TV show. Also, did you know that he was going to be Luke Skywalker? He was actually seriously considered for the part, but was beaten by Mark Hamill. We have from Cheers, George Wendt, our lovable Norm. That's an awesome thing as a nosy, really, really bad neighbor, crazy neighbor, and of course Richard Moore, playing an undead memory perhaps, and of course he's of Night Court fame, a great TV show for the 80's. We have a pin out against Little Shop of Horrors. Directed in 1986 by Frank Oz, Miss Piggy himself, and Yoda, starring Rick Moranis, the incredible, awesome, funny guy Steve Martin, the beautiful Ellen Green, and of course, one of the coolest, funniest guys of all time, Bill Murray, in a small role that still, still makes me laugh today. And they will always let me laugh. It's just timeless. So let's begin by talking about best story. So let's talk about House for a minute here. House, it's first of all, it's a fantastic movie because it really has that mix of seriousness with humor, and it's never you never take it too seriously, but you never take it too light. I mean, it starts really dark, with this writer moves into a house where his things are not going right for him. Okay, he's getting a divorce. His kids, it's lost, and doesn't nobody knows where he is. He's also moving into a house by himself that has recently inherited from an aunt that committed suicide inside the house by hanging herself. And to make matters worse, he's there to write memoirs about the Vietnam War that he was a part on, and remember the horrors of war. He's a horror, writer, but he's doing a non-fiction book about that, and it's and basically it's a psychological scare where he sees things that other people think he's crazy about, but the house itself, being haunted by really weird, scary, creepy creatures that nobody else seems to see until a little bit later. But it's just, oh, by the way, it's spoilers. There's spoilers on these videos. Like I said, I always mark them spoilers. Now, let's go to uh, let's go to the other story, which is Little Shop Horrors. Shop Horrors is it's a remake of sorts, because it's the Roger Gorman. Am I saying it right? Roger Corman or Gorman? I can't. I apologize. I probably put it on But that's the one who made the original one. It's kind of a sci-fi creature feature with a lot of creepiness to it. But then it was made into a off-Broadway musical, and then it was brought to the big screen by director Frank Oz, and it's amazing. It's an amazing story about this guy that's kind of was born on the wrong side of the tracks, very poor and never caught a break. So he finds this little tiny Venus flytrap, carnivorous plant, and nurses it back to health and accidentally finds out that it doesn't want to eat anything except blood. And then little by little starts feeding him like little tiny bits of, he pricks his finger, starts giving him little tiny bits of blood. And the little Venus flytrap starts growing and growing and growing. And he works at a flower shop where they decide to feature the flower, and as more it grows, more the flower shop wasn't doing well, but as it keeps growing, and more people are coming, and TV and radio, and the owner is getting a great amount of money, and that's benefiting everyone, until he finds out that the little plant grows up big enough that it starts to talk. And you know and then the plant says, hey, if you want me to go ahead and live, you have to feed me blood, but I'm grown big enough that I need flesh. I need human flesh. And then poor Seymour, the guy, he starts thinking, hey, you know what, he's got a crush on this girl called Audrey. That's what names the plant Audrey too. And says, hey, if I had a little bit more money, maybe I can sway her, be with me and everything, but he may have to perform mutilations. So it's caught in a the movie is funny, has a really dark overtone about feeding bodies to plants, but it's really funny, it's really cool. But which one's a better story? uh I'm gonna give this to House. So House gets the first point, and the reason is because I think it's just a right combination. I mean, it's a really nice. There's so many things going on in House. There's the psychological aspect. There's the horror aspect. There's the funny aspect of the creatures that show up, and it's so over the top. I know I love Little Shop of Horrors, and I like the sci-fi thing is really out there, but I think the complexity of the story it just benefits House. So House gets the first point. Creature design. Um, Creature design. Basically, we're gonna pin. There's two creatures here. Basically, that are featured here. The two types of creature. First of all, we got Audrey too, which I think there were 6 or 7 versions of it. According to the amount of growth, and it took several puppeteers, but it just looks so lifelike. I mean, there's some stop motion animation, there's some mixing up of the actors and the things so that it looks right, slowing it down, and voiced by the awesome Levi Stubbs from the late Levi Stubbs from the Four Tops. He's brilliant on the role, and it's an incredible puppet. I mean, I love that. I mean, that's one of the most impressive, puppetry that I ever seen. I mean, it looks so lifelike. Now we go to House. House, House is a different deal. If House, we got. I think it's called the Sandy Witch, which is this fat, ugly hag of a monster that it's really, really creepy. I mean, and there's a little critters too, the little boy like midget things that are making mischief and want to kidnap a little kid that the writer is taking care of, and I mean they're really creepy. I mean they look weird, and they look you know over the top Halloween mask type of thing, but they're so well done. I remember them being really really scared. I was 12 years old when I watched that movie. I didn't particularly. I mean, later on it got a little lighter as it went on, but at first, man, that thing creeped me out. Also, the tree monster with the souls coming out of it, and also there's the design of Richard Mole with the undead thing. Really, really cool. But I mean, they cannot beat Audrey 2. The design is just too awesome. It's the best puppetry I ever seen. So Little Shop of Horror gets the point. So we're 1-1. So let's go. So let's go to our next category, which is funniest moment. We got on house is definitely when the little critters, the little sandwich. I mean, the big sandwich hand sticks to the back of the little kid, and also when the little critters are climbing up the. Also, Richard went all the moments. I mean, this it's just when he's trying to hold on to the dude and then he falls inside. He goes inside the closet. So many cool moments for House. So many funny moments for House. But I mean, one of the funniest moment of all time is the dentist sequence with Bill Murray. And if you've never seen it, you gotta really see that. It's just you. This one. This should be on your bucket list. You can't die without watching this because it's just this guy that well, Seymour wants to kill the dentist that's dating Audrey because he's a piece of freaking asshole and he treats her wrong and he's planning his food. But before that, Bill Murray goes in and sees the dentist, and he's basically it's the marriage of a sadist and a masochist. So somebody that likes to give pain, the dentist, and the guy who likes to receive it. And it's that those interactions, him screaming candy bar, and when he's getting drilled, oh man, it hurts my insides when he's when he's drilling him. The dentist is trying to inflict because he gets off by inflicting pain on others, and when when he's doing that, rather than Bill Murray being scared, he actually grabs him from the shoulder, and that's really weird, awkward sexual noises. That it's just I laughed for months. I couldn't stop laughing. It was just unbelievable. Every time I still see it, I think it's one of the funniest things. There's no contest in this one. The funniest moment goes to Little Shop of Horrors, so 2-1. Now we go to coolest kill. Definitely, I like in Little Shop of Horrors when I think that I really enjoyed the death of the dentist with the gas mask. That's very cool. I think that's probably the best kill there. Well, and of course, and the plant devouring people. They're pretty cool. But there's by far killing Sandwich, killing the big fat hag in house. It's both cool, funny, creepy. Getting decapitated and then burying her in the backyard. Too cool for school. Coolest kill goes for house. So scare factor. Um, definitely. We are going to go. In we can go here two ways here. We know that the underlying, subject in Little Shop of Horrors is definitely, the consumption of flesh, the domination by the alien plan, of trying to take over the world, which is really cool. However, however, But on as far as scariness, I mean, there's a deep undertone about the haunted house, and one of I mean, the one that puts it over the top for me, it's where you see Sandy Witch and the fat hag, and then just takes out the gun, the right, and just takes out the shotgun and puts a couple of barrels into it, and then he sees that it's the hot neighbor, the woman laying on the floor shot down. That's like a nightmare right there. It turns out that it's all really it's all the house playing tricks on his head. But that's one of the scariest moment. Definitely scare factor goes to house. So 3-2. So either house goes for the win for fan factor, or we tied it up and we go for the tiebreaker. As far as fun, they're both a lot of fun. I love to watch these movies over and over and over again. But let's just say that you know the overall fun thing. You sing along the songs. The songs are timeless. It's just the light factor. That carries all throughout the film. There's no contest here. Little Shop of Horrors gets the point. So, yay, we're tied, meaning that I'm the tiebreaker. So, um, we gotta look at we gotta look at a couple of things. House was really it's a core horror movie. It's spawned three sequels. Um, it is a pretty good movie, and but Little Shop of Horrors is timeless. I mean, even today they're still remaking the musicals. They still you can I think you can still go to Broadway and see it. I still want to go and watch it. I mean, it's just the performances was everybody. I mean, the all star cast. You know, there's so many great things. Um, it's really, really, really close, and just maybe this is just a matter of preference, Amy. But I think the campy sci-fi fun nature of it just makes it a better film for me, just by a tiny bit. The winner is Little Shop of Horrors. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you like, if you agree with me, comment. If you don't, fine, comment too. I want to hear your thoughts. Please leave requests if you want to see any two movies on 80's Movie Showdown. Be blessed. Subscribe. And I just have to do it. I just have to do it because I always sing when it's a singing movie, and I just have to sing a little bit. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long. 'Cause if you feed me, Seymour, I'll grow up big and strong. Oh, yeah.